right, here we're gonna start off with an Azalea. I'm going first. Very interesting. That normally seems wrong, but we'll roll with it. I like needles into Azalea generally, just because they have a lot of 2 blocks. And the matchup's pretty aggressive. This hand sucks, not gonna lie. I think our best bet is just 100 wins pass. Alternatively, we can like Orion pitching homage, but that also seems really bad. I just want to hold on to homage ideally. So let's just do 100 wins pass, I think. And then we could sink Orion if we need to. Blocking with a battering bolt, which is probably good for us. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pass here. There's like a small chance we can draw into another Transcend card. Okay, we would have. So slightly punished, but I think this is just better overall. And then they come in with the Sleep Dart. We'll see how big the Sleep Dart is. Sleep Dart actually has been one of the cards that's kind of been popping up in new Azalea lists that I think is a little bit scary for Zen. If you've ever seen an Inertia Sleep Dart, it is very spooky. I'm going to Orion on our turn to hopefully try to block a little bit of this. So let's do Homage, Stir, and then pitch one of the Chi. Let's do this. Level's interesting. Okay, so it's coming for 8. We can block 2, 2, 4. Well, okay, so let's say we block 4 here, 4 here. It could have razors, which is maybe fine. Okay, we'll let this resolve. What I think we do is we block with 2 of our kind of combo blues just to set up our graveyard. So maybe Descend Gust Wave, 100 Wind Sink, and then worst case scenario if they push over the Sleep Dart with the Rain Razors, which is pretty likely given they're on 4 cards. I mean, they could just also have like a non-attack or whatever. But we'll play around. Like if we get Sleep Darted with Harmony Hunt and levels in our hand, we're probably not that upset about it. So block 4 here. Pass. I'm debating whether or not we want to try to sink in anything. We probably do. Okay, so they did have the Rain Razors, which is fine. Now the question is, do we get rid of this Synergy? Maybe. Yeah. There's not really a point in having Energy except for just a blue. And we don't really have like an outlet to turn on levels. Okay. I think that's a better draw. Alright, so we sunk the Chi, so like the Sleep Dart basically did nothing this turn, did 1 damage, or 2 damage overall, so we're pretty happy with that. So I think the play here is going to be 100 Winds, Needle, see if they block the Needle, another Needle, and then levels, drawing a card, try to Arsenal and Ardor. That seems like the best line to me. Then we'll do 1 Needle, see if they want to block. One thing with needles into a lot of classes is I like, if they block a needle, I don't like giving them another needle because it kind of signals to me that they maybe want to block again. And here we're just going to draw a card. But if they didn't block the first needle, we're very incentivized to attack with the second needle. So you get some free chip in there. And we're sitting pretty good. We found our Warmongers, which is a key card in Azalea, although notably they do have the long draw half glove to try to push over the Warmongers. They are going to have, oh, well, let's see. They're going to have Codex here. Makes sense. So they could get either Battering Bolt or Sleep Dart. If I had to guess, it's probably more likely to be Sleep Dart. Okay, so also interesting is they probably didn't want that codex because they bottomed a card. And then they revealed this off the top. But our hand's pretty good. As long as we don't get like inertia, we should be fine here. Because we can go like Ancestral Harmony into 100 Winds, Transcend. Okay, well there's an inertia, so why do we even talk? This hand actually does fight through inertia pretty well though. It's just, inertia is like such a brutal effect. But yeah, like our next turn's pretty good because we can go like Harmony, 100 Winds, or Harmony, Transcend, 100 Winds, get something, make a Tiger for Tiger Swipe. Tiger Swipe will have go again, we finish on Warmongers is probably the line. Okay, they have Rain Razors, makes sense. They're codexing, and now the question is kind of what are they getting with codex? So they're getting a Battering Bolt, makes sense. This is a little bit annoying. So I think now we probably just pivot to blocking 5 here. They're gonna inertia us, which is annoying, so we can't use our Tiger Swipe. But we will get to develop out a Warmongers with them on an arsenal, a random arsenal. So I think this is fine. Again, Battering Bolt, pretty good card in the matchup. Do Preserve, targeting. We have a lot of 100 Winds in the graveyard, but I think Levels is just like one of the strongest cards in our deck, so maybe we'll just get that instead. And then our Tiger Swipe will unfortunately not get played and get eaten by inertia, but what are you going to do about that? Notably, they also discarded a Red Ledger, so the next 2 codexes are going to be able to get Red Ledger, which is a little spooky. So we'll do War, let our arsenal get blown up, and pass it back. So we are set up with Chi in deck. Now we just got to figure out how to find Art War, and then here, Long Draw, Half Club is going to be coming in clutch to try to get them through this Warmongers. And they have the Red Ledger, which makes sense. So we can actually play around Red Ledger pretty well this hand. So I think the play is to block 6, and then we probably do want to block with our Bonds here. And then we'll put another Levels back in the deck, and then draw a card. Because this is an inertia right now. Yeah, I think this is fine. The worst case scenario is they punish us with like Snapdragon into Codex, forcing us to discard, then we don't get to play our E-Strike. Which would suck, but I think that's probably something we'll have to deal with. Yeah, I just like soaking up damage here. Again, the life totals are pretty even, and they've used one of their resources to get our own Warmongers. Although, notably, I did cut down to 2 Warmongers just because I think the Azalea matchup was just good enough as is. I don't think you really need all 3 necessarily. I think that was one of my latest changes is basically cutting down on Warmongers, adding Assault the Wound just to make links a little bit better. And then here we have a hand that can definitely go off if they don't present disruption this turn, but we'll have to see. Okay, they get a Bolden Shot, which is fine. One notable thing about E-Strike is I'm not a super big fan of E-Strike on the go-off turn, just because it's like, it's more of like an anti-disruption card than anything. So here they're going to come in for 7. One thing about this hand is we can play with this hand even if they don't present more disruption after this. So I think we're going to let this hit and see what they have next. Because I'm assuming they're going to have something after this, maybe like a Remorseless effect or something similar. They haven't activated Death Dealer yet either, so I'm just going to kind of... That's my logic for passing on this Bolton Shot. If they don't do anything here, we still have like a decent turn. So I'm not upset if they just pass. Like we can go 3 into 2 into 2 into 7, Arsenal Art War. And then this is why we passed, right? So they have the Red Ledger. They're pitching a Rain Razors, and we've already seen the other 2 Rain Razors. So this is basically a sign that this is free, theoretically. If they have a Codex, Actually, if they have a codex, they can only get drill shot back because they can't pay for anything else. Yep, so I think this is our window. We'll get rid of Kasaya over Shuko just because we don't have a Transcend card in hand, I think is the policy. Yep, so we'll go ahead and give 5 here, and then we're not under the threat of a 4th Rain Razors unless they're cheating. So we should be all set here. Oh, I forgot to make this full screen, by the way. I'm sorry. You can see all my weird tabs. All right, so we are going to start. We know what we're going to get off this hand, so we're going to start. Actually, we'll start with an art over first because theoretically we can get more information. Like we don't need to make a tiger first before banishing. Okay, we draw levels, which is fantastic on the go off turn. We'll use Zen's ability to get our bonds. Then we will do, what's the play here? I think we start off with levels for maximum information. Ideally, we want to try to find an aspect or something for this Chase the Tail, but it's not the end of the world if we don't. So let's do levels first. For 4, we'll do Draco. Find another Art of War. Sweet. And this is why we start with levels. Banishing a tiger. Finding Sacred Art, which is not incredibly useful right now. Huh. I wonder if it was almost better to not banish the tiger there. We can still play this hand. It's like fine. We're just not going to Sacred Art. We're going to do Descendant. A lot of times I default to banishing the tiger when it's probably not correct. Like we could have banished Tiger Swipe there or something else, but this still all works out. We'll get 100 wins probably. That's 100 wins is fine. We'll do E-Strike for 5 goes. Or for 7 goes, rather. Then we'll do Needle. And then we'll finish with the CNC, and I don't think there's a way out of this for them. Yep, so that was a pretty fast game. Oh, they want a rematch. Okay, let's do it.